Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed.
And that's it.
Russell Crowe is now filming a new movie called Noah. Noah about Noah and the ark. He is Noah, and it's a little bit different.
Of Nobel laureates in the camera's eye. It's a stunning exhibition, and we're incredibly grateful to the Maidstone who've allowed us to do this. So our thanks to Jenny Youngberg and to everybody else here, Sophie, and your husband and everybody who has enabled this to happen. So first of all, our thanks to the Maidstone.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're very privileged to have the photographer who took 300 of these photographs of Nobel laureates, some of which, as I say, are on the wall inside. Now, Peter Badge is one of those people I hate because he was born in 1974, and if you were born in 1958, you can work the rest out. So, on the one hand, he starts in a bad place with me, but on the other hand, you just have to look at his work to see that as he's traveled across the globe taking these pictures, he has done something really important and wonderful. And the organizations which in 2000 began this, the three organizations, the National Museum of American History, the Smithsonian Institute, the National Portrait Gallery in DC, and of course the Foundation for Nobel Laureates, commissioned this work, and that's why it's here for us all to see today. We're especially privileged because one of the subjects of Peter's work is Professor Nash, and Professor Nash is with us over here today, who, as you know, received in 1994 the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences for game theory. I'm afraid that's where my knowledge of game theory begins and ends, but nonetheless, sir, it's a huge privilege that you are with us today. Thank you for honoring us by being with us. More about this, probably I should now stop talking about, because as a politician, I like talking, but on the other hand, you should always know when to stop. So we have actually the former director of the National Museum here, Mark Pachter, and I think, Mark, you might just say a few words about it. Mark, over to you.
I noticed pointedly that in the description of this event, they spoke of my brief introduction. This was a caution to me, which I appreciate. Also, I noticed nothing was said about me except that I'm the genius behind this happening. That's sufficient. Although one of my favorite introductions of all time of me was somebody who wanted to say that I had lectured often and even exhaustively, but it came out excessively. So I won't say very much except to give you a slight glimpse of the history of this impulse which has led to this extraordinary exhibition. So the impulse is the following, and then we'll, though he doesn't want me to, talk a little bit about the genius who made it happen. The impulse was the following. Everybody knows that we're supposed to pay attention to Nobel laureates. We're not quite sure why. We know that they've done a lot. We're quite sure that they're not like us. And so they're probably creatures of admiration rather than creatures of replication. We don't necessarily think we could be Nobel laureates. So that's true enough. Very few of us will be sitting at that table as a Nobel laureate, and very few of us will have the opportunity of Peter Badge photograph. But here's what Peter did and why we thought Peter's portrayal was really vital.
Okay, I just want to make sure these are.
None of our human forms, that they are Martians. You know, they are geniuses from afar, and none of us can ever aspire to be them. What our goal at the Smithsonian was, when we first made contact with Peter Badge, was to find the humanity in the world. The goal always is to inspire the young, but the young are not inspirable unless they feel that there's the possibility of a human connection. Most portrayals of Nobel laureates, which usually happen around the great moment of their ascension, are what we call in the portrait business boardroom portraits, which means that actually their humanity is reduced. And what you get are these stone figures of greatness that have nothing to do with us. Peter's take on Nobel laureates has from the first been human. And that's been to say, actually, there's some of them in us and some of us in them. And that's why when you go look at the exhibit, look at the portrayals, not the portraits. Portraits are things on a wall, the portrayals. Notice the objects that are with them when they've chosen to have objects. Notice the ones that are impish, the ones that are peculiar, the ones that are out there. I mean, one of them loves to have you know that he's a motorcycle guy. You know, sure, he's got a Nobel laureate, but go and connect with their humanity. Peter is the only one who has captured it. Honestly, the only one. Why is the question which I will end my brief on. Peter is impossibly charming. And we can't get him up here. There he is. Gather around him.
Raise your hand.
Talk with him. You'll see why Nobel laureates decide for Peter not to be important, but to be human. And the problem with portraits of importance is that they are...
Hello, darlings. Welcome back. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the Maidstone Arms Inn to celebrate a very special event. I am here with the curator of the Museum of American History, and I'm here with this very famous artist who exhibited his work. I want you to introduce yourself both to the camera.
Okay, I've sort of had a dual role, a director of the National Portrait Gallery. I'm Mark Pachter, and I've also been director of the National Museum of American History, and this is...
Peter Badge. I'm the photographer of the Nobel laureate.
Now, this is a very special event that you guys collaborated on, and you decided to have it right here at the Hamptons International Film Festival, the 20th anniversary of the Hamptons International Film Festival. Tell my audience why this event is so special to both of you.
Well, I'll start with the fact that our rehearsal was to do this exhibit at the Smithsonian. Until we got ready for the highest level, which would be the Hamptons. And so now we're here with that same exhibition, which is an attempt to show the humanity of the Nobel laureates as this man portrays them.
Such beautiful art. Tell my audience about the paintings that we're seeing here today. How many paintings are we seeing?
Photographs.
Photographs, I'm sorry.
I think it's about 40.
40 photographs right here on the premises of the Maidstone Arms Inn.
Absolutely, right in there. I can guide you if you want.
I would love to see all of the works of art. They're amazing photographs. Tell my audience, how long did it take you to photograph and do the work behind all of this?
15 years.
15?
I mean, in total it's 400. You know, it's just a selection of 40 we're showing here. But in total the project was 400 Nobel laureates around the world.
He's only 18, that's most of his life.
He looks like a baby.
Yeah, that's my point.
I'm a baby.
So tell my audience so far, what do you think of the Hamptons International Film Festival?
Oh, would you tell me about your audience? Tell me about your audience that I can answer
Well,
you.
my audience are people that are articulate, that are engaging. They want to look at what's on the cutting edge of entertainment, the arts, theater, movies, film, everything, movie stars. Artists like yourself, you're a very famous artist, photographer.
You know, all the subjects you mentioned actually fix completely into the Nobel project because, I mean, It's art, it's science, it's love, it's peace. You know, everything you can find in the Nobel project. You know, and this is what this
Who
project.
is the Nobel laureate of love? I noticed you added that to your category.
Well, I'm not allowed to say this in front of the camera, but.
Ooh, sexy.
So like you.
Oh, you think I'm sexy?
Absolutely.
What's sexy about me?
Well, your hair, it's amazing.
Everyone says that, darling. I'm famous for this hair.
It's really beautiful.
It's a piece of art.
No, that's what I noticed. You know, it's like, and your dress, of course.
I've been photographed a lot. The hair, the whole look has been photographed a lot. But enough about me. How do you choose your subjects to be photographed?
Well, you know, actually the subjects are not chosen by me. I mean, the Nobel laureates are like selected by the Nobel Committee, and then as soon as it's announced, I travel there and meet them and take the picture.
How amazing is that? Now, how did you guys meet?
Well, because at the Smithsonian, we like to expose the American public to amazing people doing amazing things. And by having an exhibit about Nobel laureates who have achieved extraordinary things by a young artist, still young artist, who was able to get their humanity.
Very young, sexy artist.
That's for you to say, but I salute your characterization. So having done this, we thought it was natural for the American public to see that great people can also be interesting, quirky, intimate, and Peter is the only photographer I know who can make important people look human.
How interesting. You are a fascinating gentleman. 40 wonderful photographs throughout the grounds right here at the Maidstone Arms Inn during the Hamptons 20th anniversary of the Hamptons International Film Festival. And it's an honor to talk to you. I feel very privileged to talk to you about your photography, about your art. But I want you to tell my audience where we could go to find out more information about you as a photographer, as an artist. Where can we go?
They could buy a book.
Well, there's no way to find more about me. And it's like, I don't
You should just Google you.
I don't have a website. I'm not on Google. You know, it's like I sometimes appear and then I disappear. It's part of my art.
I love it. But we can find out more about his exhibit at the American Museum of History. Tell my audience where we could go to learn more about the American Museum of History.
Well, I think you can. The National Museum of American History
.org?
is absolutely. You can get it easily. It's your national museum. You paid for it with tax dollars, so you might as well see what you get in return.
Well, I want to thank you both for talking to me right here at the Maidstone Arms Inn. Have you seen any films yet?
He has.
Oh yeah, we saw, of
What movie
course.
have you seen that you like, that you enjoyed?
Well, I love Marilyn, which was. I thought you
yes.
are in there, you know.
Yes, I mean, that's what they tell me. I look like Marilyn.
I did. I really was.
Well, Marilyn Monroe was a Gemini, like me. Marilyn Monroe's birthday was June 1st. My birthday is June 7th.
So you're a twin.
Yes, the twin.
I could see this in your eyes. But and then I saw A Beautiful Mind, of course, the film about John Nash, which is like.
Wonderful. He's just what a prince of a man. Isn't he a gentleman? Just a prince of a man. But I want to thank you both so much for talking to me right here. And I want you to enjoy the Hamptons Film Festival. That's what it's all about, darlings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, one more.
He's
And
German.
yes, and we'll be back in a moment with more celebrity interviews right here at the 20th anniversary of the Hamptons International Film Festival. Keep watching, darlings. Pink champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.